We're watching a little videotape there. Isn't that great? The Temptations, one of these super groups of all time, of course, out of Motown. And just watching them kind of brings back a lot of memories of what a magical period that was in the 60s. That's it. Oh.
Dark and mad. Oh, great song.
Isn't that good stuff?
Oh, yeah, real romance music, isn't it?
And they have, they're still active, performing all over the country now. And the leader of the group, the spokesperson, one who's been with them from the very, very beginning, is a fellow named Otis Williams, who has written a book kind of chronicling their life. In fact, it's called The Temptations. Temptations. It's a book by Otis Williams. He's the real founder of that supergroup. You're looking at the book now. And he is currently touring the country, not only singing, but talking about the book. Will you please welcome The Temptations, Otis Williams.
Thank you. Thank you. Same here.
Oh, as I said, when we see that, of course, that was a little more recent performance of the group and stuff. But when we get a chance to hear that music, it does bring back memories.
Oh yes.
Quite a time. All of those people coming out of one town in such a short period of time. Just, you talk about them in the book. Name some of the names of the people that you knew just as everyday friends.
Oh, Diana Ross, Mary Wilson, Florence,
The
Smokey,
Supremes.
yes.
Smokey. Smokey, you call him Smokey, of course, Smokey Robinson.
The Four Tops, Marvin Gaye, Stevie Wonder, Lamont Dozier of Holland, Norman Whitfield, who turned out so many great records on us, Barry himself, Barrett Strong, the list is endless.
It really is.
Was it, when you were there and all there together, being successful at the time, was it competitive among you, or was it a party kind of situation? Or
it was a friendly, healthy kind of competitiveness.
Yeah.
It was the thing that I guess breed that kind of championship attitude about really being successful and what have you. So it was a great time to be there because Barry, being an ex-fighter, you know, he liked to have that kind of undertow about being competitiveness, you know, competing against one another.
So did he say, the Supremes got a #1 last week, what are you guys doing? Or
well, he would get on the producers and the writers and really tell them to really, you know, keep at it and make the importance of how to really do song structure and great lyrics and what have you. And I think that's why the songs are still around today.
The Barry you mentioned, of course, Berry Gordy. Would there have been a Motown without Berry Gordy?
Hard to say. I think he was, like they said, the heart and soul. He was the catalyst, and he was just the right guy to bring everything together at the right place and time. And, you know, it was just one of those things that I think, looking back, I believe it was in God's master plan that Motown did evolve.
Speaking of, let's take a look at your necklace here. God L?
Yes.
What's that?
God love. It's two words in one. The word gold, when you drop the L, it turns into God love.
Okay.
The memories of the things that you have experienced in your life, and you kind of chronicle them, as I mentioned before in the book, the good times and the bad times. Go over some of the highlights. For example, you had already had a number of #1s, and yet making the Ed Sullivan Show, that meant you made it?
Oh, well, that was a good feeling to know that you were on the road of doing something very good because, you know, it was one thing to always sit and watch Ed Sullivan on a Sunday at 8 o'clock, but it's another thing to actually be on Ed Sullivan show there in person because it was one of the shows that was, a few shows that was recorded live, you know, it was no taping. So if you made a mistake, 30 million people would see you, and you could not, you know, stop and say, well, all right, cut the table, let's do it again.
Just a few knew what you'd done.
That was it. So we were, you know, would be sweating a pound of flesh before, you know, the cameras would start. Oh, yeah.
We have some pictures. Let's take a look at those, and you can tell us what we're seeing.
That's it, please.
All right. That was, that's shortly after Dennis Edwards had joined the group, along with Paul Williams, Eddie Kendricks, Melvin, and myself. And,
about what year was this?
That was like 68.
How about this one?
That was taken on the set of TCB in Burbank at NBC, and the Supremes and us.
And there you are.
There we are with Ed Sullivan. We were celebrating his birthday. And that's with the great one, Muhammad Ali. He caught us at the, I think it was at in Atlantic City. And that's just a still shot of me doing one of our mini album shootings. And that's when we did Bruce Willis's special, Bruno Is Back.
Flashy styles, that you've guys always had the flashy clothes.
Oh yeah, I mean we had to create that excitement, and that's when we did the Moonlighting TV show.
Oh yeah. Who did the choreography?
The late great Paul Williams was the initiating factor, and then later on came Charlie Atkins.
When you look back, was there a high point?
Oh, we've had quite a few high points. When we won the first Grammy after Cloud 9, #1 record with My Girl. We were at the Apollo, the show with Supremes and Us, and breaking records at the Copacabana, at the Apollo Theater. So it's been countless of high points as well as low points.
We talked about some of the people that you have known so well over the years. You also talk about love affairs in the book. And
you'd ask about
well,
that.
yeah,
I know that.
That's kind of fun stuff. You've had some pretty well-known girlfriends over the years.
I love
Well, for
girls.
instance, Gary.
Well, Patti LaBelle.
Yes. Yes, Florence.
And Florence, of course.
Yes, Marvelette, Vandellas, Supremes. I was young.
So it wasn't, so no wonder it wasn't so competitive. You guys were all just really good friends.
Yes, we had a very good family kind of atmosphere.
I'm going to throw you a bit of a curve now. Sharon, of course, mentioned My Girl, and you did too, and talk about choreography.
Right.
We're going to throw the director a curve a little bit too. I want to see just a little of that choreography. Will you do that for me?
You want to do it.
Of course
I
do.
You.
Well, I'll show you the
Will you just
temptation
the special
temptation
move here?
walk.
Yeah, we got to do this. You want to?
Sure.
Sharon's going to get involved here
Here we
too.
go.
I mean,
well, it's
what do I
really
see,
easy.
my girl? You know?
Well,
What do we do?
it's actually just this kind of thing, and then you just switch. And you just go up here. See, and I would do a pivot for you, but this here rug kind of stops us, because normally we would pivot, then we go around.
Oh, I bet you could do that.
Yeah,
Well, on this rug, it's kind of hard to do.
Oh yeah,
Well, let's move on down to the front.
we got to do it all.
Oh, you're going to do it now?
Sure. Okay.
Okay,
you ready?
go.
And the hand gestures that go along with it too.
This way. This way, then you go all the way around.
How'd you do?
That's good. If I had a purple coat on, it would really do something.
That's great. We'll have to practice a little bit.
We'll practice
the next
that.
time we'll come back with a paperback. Huh?
I've got sunshine on a cloudy day. I got it. I'll work on it. Anyway, Otis Williams.
was part of it,
The book is The Temptations. It tells the story, and it doesn't skip anything. It really tells it like it was back then. Thank you for being here, and thanks for the dance last night.